So this is what happens when you try to be cheap and make your backdrop with tape. Okay, happy Valentine's Day. You can never say that I misled you into thinking that I was a person who had it all together or one of those Pinterest perfect people. Happy Valentine's Day. Did I already say that? I think I did. It's a day. But then again, aren't they all? Let's go ahead and read our scripture, and I think I actually know what I want to talk about today. Having hope will give you courage. Job 11:18. I think that this scripture is very simple yet profound. It's easy to forget. Like a lot of the very simple scriptures are just easy to overlook. So I think at some level we think that Christianity or anything wise is supposed to be super complicated and you've got to be a scholar to really figure it out. So if you continue hoping, eventually that will turn to courage, right? Is that what it says, basically? Yeah. Having hope will give you courage. So what I actually wanted to talk about today for Valentine's Day, I didn't want to come on here and talk about love. Everybody's talking about love, and honestly, I just wanted to talk about the true meaning of Valentine's Day. Gifts, right? That's what it's all about, what somebody else is going to do for you, how they're going to show you their love, because you have love from the people who love you all year long. And this one day is all about what they're gonna do to show you that. I don't want to get into Valentine's Day advice. You can find that on another channel, maybe another day. I want to talk about something that I recently experienced, and maybe you can learn from it, or maybe I can just go back and watch this to encourage myself. So I think that we all have gifts that God gives us when He creates us. And there are lists of gifts in the Bible, and that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about our personality gifts, the things that you are naturally inclined to do or be, that it fuels you. It's just a part of who you are. And one thing I've learned is that these gifts don't come polished. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you an example. I'm gonna make myself a little bit vulnerable here and kind of share how I experienced this. I'm not gonna go into details because it doesn't just include me, my personal story, but basically I've come to realize that I'm a helper. I've always known that. I remember even when I was younger thinking like, man, if there was a career that was just a professional helper, that's what I would do. I would just love to help people. I'm actually motivated by helping people more than myself. So if you need something done, I'm more likely to do that than do something that I need to get done. It makes me feel so good to do things for other people, to have that sense of selflessness is the nice name for it, and I think that's what the gift is supposed to be. But in its raw state, it's very self-serving. I help you because it makes me feel good. And then two, my mind is constantly trying to figure out who to help, how to help them. And there are people who don't need help. So the way I recognized this was actually it happening to me. Somebody was trying to help me, and they were aggressive in their help to me. They were really trying to motivate me to get to this place where they thought I needed help. And I finally, at first I was offended, which is probably how most people feel when I push my help on them. So to all my friends out there who are watching this, I apologize for all the times I have pushed my help and my unsolicited advice on you. Thank you so much for being gracious and sticking with me and not letting that compromise our friendship. But anyways, that was my first reaction, was to be offended, and then I realized that she was like me. She was trying to help me and do something that would be better for me. And that was when we were able to have a conversation and kind of talk through it. but it was such an eye-opening moment that these strong personality traits that we naturally have and we're so proud of, that we feel like we're doing something good, they start out unrefined, and we can get so caught up in the good that we're trying to do, putting in our works and our effort minus God, and these gifts aren't being used for His glory anymore. They're selfish. Another example is some people are givers. They are super generous. They love to give to people. They love to make sure that people have things. They love the happiness that people receive when they get things. They want to be that person that gives you that thing you need or you want. And that trait, those people feel generous. And that's the name they give it, where I give myself selfless, they give themselves generous. But you know what? That gift can be twisted as well. And you can sometimes give people stuff they don't want. You can be an overgiver. I know I hear a lot of stories of mother-in-laws who give their kids too many gifts and they don't have room for them. But the giver is offended when the receiver doesn't appreciate everything they give, or maybe wants to get rid of some of it. The giver wants to see those gifts be a blessing, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes you're off the mark and your giving is selfish and it's not the way God intended it to be, and it just needs to be polished. Those are just two examples that I could think of. But today I just want you to think about, what is your gift? What do you naturally gravitate towards? What makes you feel good? And how are you expressing that to the people that you love? Are you using it for God's glory, or is there maybe just a little bit of selfishness that just needs to be polished out? So that's what I wanted to come on here and say today. Not to step on any toes or anything like that. It's just something that I personally recognized in myself, and I decided, you know what, I want to be better about that. And I know it's going to be a process. I know I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and be this selfless person who is actually using my gift correctly. I know that it's going to be one little baby step after another. So don't get discouraged if you do start to work on your gift and try and refine it, and it seems like it's a little bit of a harder task and it doesn't just change overnight for you either. Stick with it. So be glad I've edited a ton of this stuff out where I just start rambling and getting on these little bunny trails. But one of the things I was actually trying to do, I was trying to talk about hope in the context of polishing your gift. And I was going to say something along the lines of just keep hoping, but it sounded so pathetic, if that makes any sense. And it got me thinking, like, you hope until you have courage. So what is the meaning of hope? Because I feel like hope kind of has this bad meaning that, you know, oh, we'll just keep hoping. Like, it's just kind of this pathetic thing that you do when you don't know what else to do. So I actually want to end this video with looking up the definition of hope and hopefully clearing that up for myself, and maybe you as well, if you think about hope, having hope as this pathetic attempt to be courageous. I don't know. So the definition of hope in this dictionary is a feeling of expectation and desire for certain things to happen. I think a lot of times we hope and don't even realize it. We want something different for ourselves, and that's all you have to do to get to courage, is want something to happen, and that will lead to the courage that you need. I'm going to end it with that. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Try not to get too caught up in all of the expectations of the holiday, and just enjoy it for what it is. It's a day about love. If there's nobody in your life that's celebrating you, celebrate yourself. And I will see you guys tomorrow.